This is Shakan. I sense a peculiar presence here. We'd best proceed with caution.
Hell hath no fury like a Susanoo cucked. Isn't that right? Hey there, it's going to be a small video today, but I'm going to be discussing two things. And they're sort of related to the Godhood cult emails that are supposed to give you early access or early notice of stuff. And of course, I've been not good about checking those. So Atlus West dropped a new video on their channel that shows more new gameplay footage and story stuff. And well, it ended up showing something that pretty much confirms, I would say, along with like a bunch of other stuff they've shown, and even Atlus Japan have shown, I think it pretty much confirms the whole theory of Koshimizu fusing with the protagonist to make the new Nahobino form. Because this video actually showed, it shows the protagonist in the new Nahobino form exploring Shakan, but Koshimizu, the voice of Koshimizu, is talking to him in the same way that Aogami speaks to the protagonist when he's sort of like guiding the protagonist around when they're fused together as the Nahobino. And, I mean, there was so much else that existed before that pretty much pointed to that. The Atlus Japan Twitter had released, like, they've been releasing these short video clips that are like it has a sort of like profile and voice actor information for characters in the game, and then it'll show like a bunch of video clips together, and some of those will include like new stuff from Vengeance. And they released one way back for Koshimizu that pretty much, like, it's a spoiler, it shows like the protagonist on his knees, like it looks like he's in a pretty bad state, like he's really distraught, like something horrible happened, and like Koshimizu standing around him, and then I believe in the Japanese, because it was only posted on the Japanese Twitter. I don't know if the Atlus West has posted any of this footage yet, but I believe he's telling the protagonist to get up and, like to follow him or something. He like is near the protagonist, and he like walks off, sort of like, hey, get your ass up, and come with me. And then of course we see a lot of footage with like Koshimizu being in the lab, and then the new Nahobino form being in the lab, and it just like, hey, it all adds up. Like, there wasn't much that needed to convince me this is the case either. Because all I had to do was look at the form, and I already made my I made that the new Nahobino form video, like the theory video, and I was like, hey, look at his model, look at the suit and everything, and it's pretty much like, it looks so close to Tsukuyomi's Nahobino form, except it's got some different stuff on it, and of course the top of it is more like the protagonist, like the Nahobino form when the protagonist is fused with Aogami. It still has that like chest plate thing on the top that's close to like Susanoo, and then like the mask is definitely like, you know, it's got like a ninja thing going on, but it's still similar to like the Susanoo one. So that doesn't come from like the Tsukiyomi Nahobino form. The rest of the body definitely does. That's definitely Tsukiyomi. Like it's funny too, because there's so many people. Like despite like there are people who say, "Hey, this is Tsukiyomi. This is Tsukiyomi." And they kept saying that and say, hey, look at it, just look at it. And there were so many people trying to dodge around that. They're like, no, he didn't fuse with Tsukiyomi, it was somebody else. You know, maybe he fused with Lilith, or, God, who else were they thinking he was fusing with? I don't know. And then the other theory was, instead of Koshimizu, like, fusing with him directly, they're like, oh no, he was gonna get some Tsukiyomi juice injected to him. It would have been kind of interesting if they did that, though. I'm going to say, like, I was going to say if that was actually the case, then that would essentially, like, if they took someone like him who's a human and just straight injected him with demon juice, wouldn't that essentially make him kind of like a demi-fiend? But, of course, that's not actually the case. We know now, and of course, I'm sure we'll find out in the game itself that he's fused with Koshimizu. The two bros fused together. And TR jokes abound, holy shit. Oh man, it's too funny. I know people are gonna be joking about it for a long time because it's such a weird situation. You have two Japanese gods. Like this is how weird this situation is. It does make sense when you, in the context of the game, I guess, if you were thinking of someone else that would be, I still don't know how it's gonna explain the knowledge thing. I made a whole theory video, so whatever. Go watch that if you want my thoughts on like how that even works. I'm not gonna try and explain it here, but it is still a funny situation. It's hard not to joke about it because you got two Japanese gods that are in synthetic bodies. They're like twins of each other. You have like Tsukiyomi, who's the eldest brother, and then he like cloned himself and made like a bunch of combat units that has his brother's juice injected into them, but they still look like a buffed out version of Tsukiyomi. Like if the body that Tsukiyomi is using is his like, I don't know, human form or whatever, then Aogami just looks like a bunch of clones of Tsukiyomi. Doesn't that bother the protagonist, I wonder? You think he's bothered by that? And you think, like, after Aogami gets pulped, he's even more bothered by the fact that he fuses with someone who looks like the demon that he is partnered with? Like, wouldn't that... They gotta bring that up, right? They're gonna be like, hey, yeah, I know I look like, I look like my younger brother who got pulped that was your partner. Doesn't that fucking bother you a little bit? Oh my god, what is wrong? I'm having, technical difficulties here. Wow. What is this? What is the leg doing today? The other thing I want to discuss is the deal with the plush, which it's not something I really agree with on Atlus's part, and I'll tell you why. When it came to the actual this plush here, I got a ton of look. In the virtual world, you can have as many of these as you want. I got a whole ball pit of here. Let me show you. I have as many of these guys as I want. And I need to actually make a proper one of them. These are actually like very primitively photo scanned. Like they're two-sided. Oh my god, I keep having it. What is this? I don't know what's going on here. I've showed this before in the Aogami one, but I have a hobby where I do recreations of plushes and other items. And so this is like a proper made version of the Stebbins plush. I've showed this before in the Aogami one. But I haven't made a proper version of this one yet. This actual rare plush. Well, just ignore my leg. It's having a moment. I'm just going to explain things while it's malfunctioning. I don't know what's going on there. Speaking of this plush, okay. So the deal with this plush and why it's such a big deal in the fandom. Oh boy. let's get these out of the way here. Why this is a big deal in the fandom is it's very rare, and Atlus has intentionally made it rare, and it's something I'm sorry guys, I don't agree with it. I know they made it like a collector's thing. It was in like a collector's edition of SMT5, and then they, even afterward, Atlus was like giving it to influencers and having it only available at certain events they held, and like cons and stuff like that. So still extremely limited, and it was so limited to the point where you would find plushes put on eBay. Like this shit was put on eBay for like $300 or more. Like that's what was going on, because it was like intentionally made rare by Atlus. And people wanted them so badly just to release this plush to where everyone could get access to it, and that is not the case. Instead, they released the Stubbins one, which I do like. I actually have this Stubbins one physically. I have the Aogami one physically, and honestly, even with the Tsukibino, I hope Stubbins makes a Tsukibino. That way, like if they're gonna limit the access to this type of plush, because that's what they did. They haven't shown it yet what it actually looks like, but it's probably gonna look like this because the shape of it is like akin to the rare Nahobino plush that gets memed and everything like that. It's a very similar shape, so I have a feeling it's probably going to look like this one, except like the Tsukibino. And they actually had an Aogami one. They showed a picture of like an Aogami one, but I don't know if they're going to release that. That's probably like some really extremely rare plush that's only available and made for the Atlus Swiss offices or something like that. It's a really huge... The Aogami plush is extremely huge, and unfortunately, like, there aren't enough pictures to where I could do a recreation of it, and I don't know if I could. I could probably try. I'd have to do a lot of my own... Like, a lot of my own modeling and stuff like that, which... I mean, it's still the case for this, with the photo scan things, and I wanted to mention this too, because here's the thing, I don't know if I'm going to get lucky enough to get that thing. They put it in the, they have all these promotional stuff they're doing through the Godhood cult, and one of those is getting access, like, they're limiting, they're basically giving away that plush to, like, 10 lucky people, and you have to, like, sign up to a thing and pay attention to the emails through the Godhood cult thing. I don't think, I'm not very good at paying attention to those, and I probably won't get lucky to get one. However, I want to say, if they're going to be limiting stuff, and, like, even if I don't get access to one, I'm probably going to try and do a digital recreation. At least if people can't get access to that thing physically because it's intentionally limited and made rare, to the point where people are probably going to take that and put it on eBay and sell it for a lot, which sucks. I just don't really like that. I'm just gonna recreate it in VR. It's so people can enjoy it. Like, that's why I want to do stuff like this, is that there are such things as very rare plushes, and because of that, you might only they end up getting so rare to where the only evidence of them, like, where you can see them and stuff, is through pictures. And so through pictures, I can take pictures, like different viewpoints and stuff of a plush, and then utilize those to actually, like, do the work to recreate it as a 3D object, and then it's something that, someone can enjoy in VR. And I'm probably going to do that with, when they show the other one, because, like I said, if it's such an extremely limited thing, not a lot of people are going to get access to it, and I doubt I would get access to it. So if there are enough pictures around of it, at least, I can probably get, like, if I can get some proper views of it, I will try and recreate it in VR. And then I need to do a proper recreation of this one. This was, like, done extremely early when I made this map, so all of these are, like, extremely basic, simple, like, just, it's like an inflatable toy or something. It's not even a plush. And I have, like, a ball pit that is just full of these. They're great. But yeah, I don't know. Don't like the rare plush stuff, I really don't. And but it'll be interesting to see what the ninja, the Tsukibino plush looks like. And like I said, I hope they make a Stubbins one. And I'll probably do a recreation of that in the digital space as well. And if I do, I'll just put it in here. And so if you have VR chat, or by the way, you don't need a VR headset to utilize VR chat and enjoy it. You can also visit places in desktop, so if you ever want to like take a look at the plushes or anything like that, you can always visit the map, especially if I make some of the new ones, if I can get access to pictures and stuff to try my hand and recreate stuff so that people can enjoy them. People can enjoy rare stuff in the VR space, you know? Because that's the great thing about doing this. Taking a physical item that's hard to get and then recreating it for the digital space, and that way more people can have access to it and enjoy it and be able to look at it and everything like that. Okay, I think that's it. Also, one more thing I'll mention is that there's supposed to be, in terms of, for SMT5 engine stuff, there is a 6-hour, like, stream, I think by some Japanese streamers. I think Atlus Japan's Twitter is posting about it, but it's gonna be at, like, 2 a.m., in you know, their time. It's gonna be super early, so, like, good luck trying to catch that. But yeah, they're gonna be playing 6 hours, or streaming 6 hours of SMT5 Vengeance, and hopefully it'll still be up after they stream it. I don't know if they left their other streams up when they do stuff like that, but, you know, I might try and look at it, but I'm a little worried about, like, too many spoilers. Like, I feel like so much stuff has been put out already that it's getting to the point of being, like, super spoilery, and of course the release is getting closer, so I don't know. I don't know if I want to watch the 6-hour thing or not, but I figure, like, if there's anything interesting that comes from that, it's probably going to end up making its way to me anyways, so we'll see what happens. See you guys later.